Welcome back, everyone, to the bigger and better Cruise1st TV, with shows every day on your screens here on Sky 681, all the way through to 10 p.m. now. Plus, of course, 24 hours a day on our YouTube channel. We've always got a cruise fix waiting here for you. Right, this show is a humdinger because we're switching on the vibrant fun of Carnival Cruise Line, and we're taking you on some big adventures with the biggest cruise company in the world. And joining us on the journey is Luke Smith from Carnival. Good to see you, Luke, again.
You too, Derek. Nice to see you.
It's been a wee while. Of course, first thing I need is the gossip. So I know there's always lots of new news.
There's a lot. It's been a very, very busy time for us at Carnival Cruise Line, and the really big piece of news that's come out of our camp recently is the news that we've launched a brand new $500 million private island experience in Grand Bahama called Celebration Key.
Wow.
So that is the whole company. I mean, it's going to be like a real game changer. It sets sail because it's an island, but it's ready to set sail in summer of 2025, and it's going to be amazing.
$500 million. Now that's quite a bit of spend.
Yeah.
Any clues as to what that's being spent on so far?
I mean, to be honest, you can pretty much name it and it'll be that. This is the great thing about this. We're building it from the ground up. It's a huge investment in the port of Grand Bahama. You'll be able to dock multiple XL class ships there. Multiple ships at a time. There'll be theme parks and water parks and food and beaches and just kind of the whole private island experience, and we'll really be able to curate that so the fun on board comes ashore with you as well, and it's going to be amazing.
So more news coming all the time.
All throughout the kind of until it launches. Really, it'll be periodic. We'll have press releases, images, videos, social posts. And as always, Cruise1st are fantastic at bringing everyone all of that information. So
brilliant. Okay, looking forward to seeing that then. So that's a little bit of the gossip that no one else knew. So in this show, we're looking forward to a journey down under later to Australia to stay in Sydney and cruise the hotspots of the Great Barrier Reef, Moreton Island, and a special trip to Willis Island too. That's for June in next year. We're also going to be heading stateside to Miami in March for next year for a stay, and then a cruise on the Carnival Spirit to Colombia, the Panama Canal, Costa Rica and Mexico to Seattle, which will be really, really interesting. First, though, for this October, the perfect getaway. Well, it's in October, of course it's the perfect getaway. We're going to cruise from the Med out to Tampa in Florida over 19 nights in all, starting on the 26th of October by flying you from the UK over to Rome to meet Carnival legend. Have to say that everything that happens on board a Carnival cruise ship is just incredible. It's vibrant, there's a smile on everyone's face, there's music everywhere. It's great. But for anyone who hasn't stepped on board Carnival before, Luke, give them just a flavour. Yeah,
so I mean, look, we're the biggest cruise line in the world, but we are America's cruise line. So I always use the fact we are unashamedly American. So, but that doesn't mean, I mean, that's not that we don't want anyone to like balk in horror because of the Americans. It is the fact that it's that seize the day mentality where everyone is there because they're on holiday. They're there to have a good time. But what we kind of try and do is say no matter what your idea of fun is, you'll be able to do it on Carnival. So your idea of fun might be going and sitting in the adults only area that's completely complimentary with a cocktail in hand and your book, sun worshipping, and then in the evening going to a fine dining restaurant. Or you might prefer the complete opposite end of the scale, going down water slides and ropes walking courses and roller coasters and all of that stuff. And you can do both. And that's the great thing about Carnival is it's cruising for everyone, but it's cruising for everyone on the same ship. Incredible food, and I think that's something we probably don't shout about enough in terms of as a brand, and especially here in the UK. Honestly, the best food, some of the best food on any cruise ship. We were recently voted within the big blogger in the US as like the top 5 cruise ships, cruise lines for food, and that's alongside all of your ultra luxury cruise lines, not your mass markets, us, and then the ultra luxury. So the food and everything is incredible. Well, it's been a long time in the making, the preparation and testing the product out there. What I would say personally is that there's a certain vibrancy
to Carnival, real positivity. It really is a true getaway. Everyone is just so happy. It's like everyone smiles along together.
It's like a vacation from life. It's the atmosphere on board. There's such a social, and vibrant's a really great word for it, because there's live music, as you say, happening everywhere. There's game shows, there's theatre shows, there's outdoor activities, there's cocktail bars, and it's just this idea that you just, wherever you go, there's something happening, there's life, and it really brings you into that and makes you feel happy.
It is, honestly, it is incredible, and it is truly for the whole family as well. Let's take a look over this itinerary then. We're starting off in Rome, of course, and we've got 15 nights of amazing and relaxing cruising as well. So we've got a day at sea to Cartagena in Spain, which again is beautiful, steeped in history, and hopefully steeped in sunshine, even at the end of October as well, will be lovely. Then we've got a day at sea and we're in Funchal in Madeira. Madeira is just so picturesque and beautiful. There is loads to enjoy there, lots of different attractions. If you like your thrill seeking as well, try the toboggan ride, it's got to be done. We've got a day at sea and now we're in the Azores in Ponta Delgada. It gives you a clue of the direction that we're heading in here. Again, the Azores are absolutely stunning. Lots and lots of fun excursions, of course, you can take as part of your Carnival cruise as well, so speak to the team on board. Then, of course, we are hopping across the pond, relaxing a few days at sea before we end up in Nassau in the Bahamas. Beautiful, great place for shopping, adventure, water sports, soaking in the sun, just having a wonderful time. Day at sea, and then we arrive in Tampa in Florida, and that is sadly where we say goodbye to the Carnival legend. Back for another cruise soon, I'm sure, but we've got 3 nights in Tampa. Have you been, Luke, to Tampa?
I have, and there's people forget there's so much more to Florida than just Orlando and Miami. Tampa is a great example
Absolutely,
of that.
We don't see it too often as an opportunity to stay there. What were your highlights?
I mean, you see in some of it there with all the animals. There's just so many different things to see, and some of the food and the restaurants is a big theme for me anyway.
Yeah. Does look really, really good, and a very, very different place to go and see as well. It's not necessarily the first place you think of visiting in Florida, so nice to see somewhere new. Well, you've got 3 nights there, so you'll have lots and lots of stories to tell by the time you come back. 3 nights in a hotel for you to explore and do with that time as you want to before the flight back to the UK. So if you have a look at the overall of this holiday, pretty vibrant one. I mean, let's face it, October, is that a good time of year to go for a holiday? Yes, absolutely. Why? Because the weather here is absolutely atrocious, and it's kind of that, we've done the summer, if we get a summer this year. It's not yet Christmas time and all the winter festivities, and this is a perfect time to get away and see some sun, because we might not have seen it right the way through our own actual summer. So it's absolutely perfect. And also a cruise really is, there never has been a better time to actually get a cruise booked in, because they are the ultimate escape. It means you can get away from all the cares, woes and worries of your life, the world, everything that's going on. You can switch off from all of that and switch on the fun on Carnival and have a true escape. And I think that's more valuable now than it has ever been. So this is for October this year, 19 nights. So included in the price I'm about to give you, the flight from the UK out to Rome, then of course your wonderful cruise, 15 nights of cruising on Carnival Legend to Spain, Madeira, the Azores, then across the pond. That's brilliant. That's sea time to enjoy everything that's happening on the ship before you arrive in the Bahamas, and end your cruise in Tampa in Florida. But you're not flying straight back. You've got 3 nights in a hotel there before you fly back. If I asked you to guess the price, I know you'd get this wrong. No offence, anyone. £249 each deposit today will lock in this price tag, and this price tag is extra special. This is one of those deals where we have squeezed so many days worth of holidays more into your spend than you could imagine. And I tell you what, every single day on a Carnival cruise, you'll look back at the end of that cruise and you'll say, how did I do all of that for that price tag? It is amazing. Well, it's the biggest cruise line there is in the world. Here's the upgrade prices as well if you want to go up to ocean view, up to balcony, or indeed up to your suite on this one as well. That's amazing value for money. isn't it?
Incredible value for money, and also it's worth noting that Carnival Legend is having a really lovely refit and dry dock in the spring of this year. So in October, she is going to look absolutely radiant.
Wonderful. That's always good to know as well. I mean, Carnival cruises are brilliant, and what makes a Carnival cruise is that lovely convivial atmosphere. It's everyone's in it together, everyone's having a great time together, and every time you move around different bars, lounges, restaurants, theatres, venues, whatever, everything feels different. It's not the same look and feel right the way through the ship, which I love. So with that said, let's go straight on to our next offer. This time we're going down under to Australia and the Great Barrier Reef with a free stay in Sydney on this offer as well. 15 nights all told. Now this is for the 19th of June next year, but there are other dates as soon as this March right the way through to May in 2026, so you can kind of take your pick of dates. But here's the package. We'll fly from the UK out to Sydney in Australia for 3 nights there. It is the place, whenever you say Australia, it's the first place that comes to your mind, isn't it?
It's iconic. I think it's probably like one of the destinations that defines icon. It's incredible. This is a pure bucket list cruise, this one.
Oh, yeah. For sure. This is absolutely brilliant. So many people will want to do it. And I know that these cruises are already selling well. Of course, as part of our global company, we have two brands actually, in Australia. And I know these have been selling immensely well, even in home territory.
Yeah. And the Australia product as an overall product for us goes incredibly well. And we'll talk about some of the reasons why, because it's built for the UK market especially.
Absolutely. So you have got your time in Sydney, 3 nights in a hotel for you to enjoy, and then we're on board Carnival Splendor. Okay, talk me around Carnival Splendor.
So, I mean, it's fantastic. What we've done with our Australia product is it really, if you're a UK customer, you'll really feel at home on our Australia product, because we've changed some of the onboard elements, so things like the drinking age and the way the gratuities work and some of the way that certain entertainment venues run. So it really is tailored to the UK market. She's a beautiful ship, fantastic for destinational cruising. She's got all of the big hitters of the Carnival kind of product, Guy's Burger and Steakhouse, and all of these incredible places.
It was the first on my list, the Guy's Burger joint.
Yeah,
I won't be on unless it has a Guy's Burgers, because it's just got to be done.
Got to get Chilius Maximus. It's 2 burgers, then they get an onion ring, and they fill the onion ring with chili con carne and cheese. It's just the best burgers at sea.
It's amazing, and it's every day up on the pool deck.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're not a burger person,
you gotta have one.
Come off one of these cruises and you will definitely be a burger person.
It's a proper experience.
They are stunning, and of course specialty dining on board as well.
Yeah, so our range of specialty dining across the brand is huge. Splendor offers a wonderful choice of things like sushi, steak. You've got the burritos and tacos, you've got the burger joint, you've got the pizzeria, you've got all of these incredible places to eat.
And you were talking about comparisons to ultra luxury.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take a chef's table experience.
That I have done, and it is, honestly, I've been doing this for about 20 years, and it is up there with one of the best meals I've ever had anywhere in the world.
Okay, take me on a 20-second whistle stop of a chef's table night.
Chef table, you're in the galley. You either actually in the galley or an adjacent private dining room, paired wines. The executive chef comes in and creates an exclusive menu just for you. You get involved in the cooking experience. There's theatre, there's drama, there's really high-end a la carte food. And it is absolutely, I mean, we had one dish that floated in midair using like physics and stuff. It's just,
really?
Yeah, it's just absolutely mind-blowing.
See, it's not something that would immediately come to your mind as part of a Carnival cruise, because you think of Carnival being a very, very sort of family affair, and indeed it is, but still great for couples, and you've still got those very, very high-end experiences on board as well. So let's take a look through this itinerary, and you are going to love this. Remember, of course, we're sailing out of Sydney. We've just had 3 nights in a hotel there, and here's where the fun begins on your 10-night cruise. First day at sea, which is brilliant, and then we're in Tangalooma on Moreton Island, and there are so many different, and I do mean so many different activities that you can take part in here as well, from snorkeling snorkeling the wrecks there, jumping on a Segway, that would be crazy. Quad bike adventures, so you can go high octane or you can go relax on the beach there on Moreton Island. Looks absolutely incredible. And that's just the start of this adventure, because next port is Airlie Beach. Now this is your gateway to the Great Barrier Reef and all of the amazing adventures you can have there. You think of the reef being quite small, I think, in your mind, but it is massive. It's hundreds of thousands of kilometres, in fact, and these two ports, both Airlie Beach and Cairns, are excellent gateways into the Great Barrier Reef. You've also got the Daintree Rainforest in Cairns as well, and other natural wonders. Of course, this is Australia. I mean, this is just pure paradise all the way around, isn't it? Port Douglas, again, great to see the Whitsundays from Port Douglas as well. I mean, this is a really, really incredible part of Australia to be in. It's where everyone wants to be. Now, we also cruise by Willis Island as well, which is wonderful. Uninhabited. Like 3 or 4 people live there on a weather station. Yeah. And then it's birds, the rest of it. But it's a stunning place.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess if you really want to get into the heart of nature, then something like this is once in a lifetime.
What a wonderful balance as well, though, because it's not port day after day after day. You've got time to take in what you've just done and to look forward to. And I think sometimes with cruises, you know, the cruise ship is such an important element of this holiday. You need time to enjoy it and to not feel the pressure of, oh, have to be up early in the morning for so-and-so. You want to be able to pace yourself the way you want to be. And you can be as horizontal and relaxed as you want to be, or as in with the fun and the party as you want to be. That's the great thing about a Carnival cruise. It ticks every box for everyone, whether you are 222, 102, no problem whatsoever. So this is for June next year. Very, very exciting. 15 nights all in. I think you need a good year run up to an Australia trip. You know, you've been planning it for some while. Included is the flight from the UK out to Sydney in Australia, 3 nights in a hotel there, then your 10 nights of Carnival cruising on the Splendor around Australia. You've got the perfect ports there for the Great Barrier Reef. You've got Tangalooma on Moreton Island as well, and you're cruising by Willis Island, which will be a great experience in itself as well. Plus, of course, at the end of the cruise, the flight back from Sydney to the UK. Now, I don't know whether the numbers I've got in front of me about to appear on your screen are correct, but I'm going to cross my fingers and hope they are and say, Mr. P, let's roll it, because if this is right, this is for going to Australia. I mean, this is for spending some time in Australia as well. This is for 3 nights in a hotel in Australia and your 10-night cruise as well, and the flight back. We don't just leave you there. You might want to stay there, but we do bring you back as well. You can put a deposit down today of just £249 each on this offer. I'm not entirely sure how we've managed to achieve that. But of course, you know, whenever we invite guests in from the cruise lines, it's because secretly, behind the scenes, there's a little Chinese burn going on saying, deal, deal, we need the best deals. In a nice way, of course, a very, very civilised manner. But look at the deal we've got on offer here as well. And there are plenty of other dates for the package. Obviously, price varies by date. From March this year, you could plan this trip right the way through to May in 2026. So you want to go now, then, later, way out then in 2026. We do low deposits right the way across the board as well. Talk to the team. But if you can make this date work for you, phenomenal. Here's the upgrades as well on board. 10-night cruise, remember. You might well want to go for that balcony for a cruise like this, Luke, do you think?
Well, you'd be silly not. I mean, look, if you're going all the way there and seeing what is a natural wonder in itself in Australia, some of these places, you want to be in it.
Look at your solo price there as well. And I tell you what, Carnival is the perfect cruise line for solo as well, because even if you are a keep myself to myself kind of person, oh my word, you will just love it. The people watching on Carnival and just the offering is phenomenal. It really is. We could talk about it all show long, but I want to squeeze in one more adventure as well. Well, I've got Luke here as well to talk about Carnival cruises because they are absolutely brilliant. This one's a Panama Canal adventure with a free Miami stay. It's for the 28th of March next year and it's 18 nights. And we'll start by flying you straight out to Miami, and we've got 2 nights in a hotel there. Couldn't you just do with a bit of that sunshine right now? Right now, I could do with that. Any beach, I'll even play golf. If it's sunny, I'll be there. 2 nights in Miami to explore or or to just relax and drink it all in. Very vibrant Miami as well, lots of contrast there.
Very much so. Lots of culture, lots of different nationalities. It's kind of a big melting pot, especially of Latino culture and food and experience and entertainment. And again, it very mirrors our atmosphere on board because it's loads of music and very vibrant, and there's lots of colour.
It's the perfect setup actually for a Carnival cruise, isn't it?
The global home of cruise as well, Miami.
There we go. There we go. And we're on board this time. Carnival Spirit. Now, a little bit more intimate Spirit? Yeah,
so Spirit is a similar sort of class of ship and size of ship to Splendor and some of the other ships we've talked about. But the great thing about these ships, they're not tiny ships. You've still got enough room to enjoy all of the incredible facilities on board, like we've talked about, the big hitters and the cocktail bars and the theatre shows and everything else. But because they're a bit smaller, you get right into destinations, you get right into ports of call. There's a more of you talk about that convivial, which is a great word, by the way, like where you've got that real close feeling on a cruise on Spirit.
Yeah, you always feel like you're part of something.
Yeah, and the crew as well. I mean, I have to give a special mention to the crew. We always call them our secret sauce. Like, they are one of our biggest selling points. They are incredible.
They are. They're so
amazing.
Upbeat. They're so positive. They're so helpful. You know, everyone's there for a good time, which is great. Let's talk live entertainment because, as well as the main theatre shows, which are incredible, there's lots of other different live entertainment going on as well.
So we have things like live game shows. So we actually have the rights. We call it Family Fortunes. Americans call it Family Feud. So we have Family Feud on board with the actual set from the TV show.
Yeah, so we asked 100 people,
yeah,
blah, blah,
all
blah.
of that.
And
they do ones throughout the night that get progressively bluer.
Okay, good.
We operate the biggest comedy club in the world, land or sea. We have 3 comedy shows a night. Again, they're different times for different audience.
Friendly,
absolutely. Because it's open to all. Everything is open to all.
Yeah.
Loads of comedy. There's piano bar with like the kind of pianist where you can give requests. There's live singers and musicians in every venue. The entertainment, and that's when no one venue feels like the only venue to go to.
Yeah.
Because everyone is kind of circulating around the ship and progressing.
And they all look and feel different.
Yeah, everyone's got their own personality.
Yeah.
Red Frog pub, which might have like a live acoustic band or a rock band or something, and then you might go into the piano bar, which is feels like a jazz lounge, and you might go to the theatre show, which is like a big West End style show. Everywhere's got its own personality, and everywhere offers something unique.
You're going to absolutely love it. Again, I think a lot of people right now are maybe wedded to one cruise line and are looking left and right at other cruise lines as well. If you've never been on board Carnival Cruise Line, absolutely treat yourself to it. I would highly recommend it. Here we go on our adventure out of Miami, of course. 2 days at sea, and we're in Cartagena in Colombia. Horse-drawn carriage tours here through the narrow streets, or head to the Playa Blanca for the most incredible beach. We'll transit through the Panama Canal, which is a wonder in itself, actually, is a real talking point, which is fantastic. So that's something to enjoy, take pictures of as well. Day at sea, and we're in Punta Arenas in Costa Rica. I would love to go to a coffee plantation. I would love to bring back some beans direct from Costa Rica. It's where they grow them. Incredible, lovely adventures there. 3 days at sea, and we're in Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. Again, this is the place to enjoy the most wonderful fresh seafood, which you can enjoy on board, of course, as well. Go whale watching, and maybe even go sea fishing at certain times of the year here as well. Then we've got 4 days at sea into Seattle in the US, and that's where we'll fly you back to the UK. But of course, if you wanted a couple of nights there in a hotel to explore, I quite like when we start off in one port and we end up in another. It's great because it opens up the opportunities there. We've already got the stay in Miami included on this one, but if you want to add a stay in Seattle, that's what we're for, and we do all the arranging for you as well, so there's no headaches for you. You just pass all of that over to us. We don't charge you a booking fee for that either, which is amazing, and you can tailor our packages beautifully. So March next year, 18 nights, as I mentioned before. So the flight from the UK to Miami, 2 nights in a hotel there, 15 nights on board Carnival Spirit. through to Colombia, through the Panama Canal, Costa Rica and Mexico before arriving back in Seattle for the flight back to the UK. I've now got a big smile on my face because you know what I've just seen is the price that you're about to see. So again, Mr. P, let's roll it straight away. Deposits today of £249 each to lock this in. I mean, bonkers. This is crazy. This is Carnival Cruise Line saying, come and give us a try.
Yeah.
Come and give us a try. Come and get some of the best cruise product there is in the world at a more of a taster price tag, really. And the value you will get out of that $1,699 per person for the entire package is the satisfaction of knowing that everything is taken care of end to end for you. All the arrangements for the flights, the hotels and whatever, we've done all of that for you and we have got you an excellent deal. I mean, you could spend that easily in flights and a couple of nights in New York, very, very easily, let me tell you. In fact, you'd be lucky if you could do it for that price for some dates. Here's the details to upgrade as well. Oh my word. What can we say? I mean, if ever you were thinking about, you know, as we said before, lots of people are looking around now. A lot of people have been wedded to one cruise line for a long time and are now saying, right, come on, let's try something new.
I mean, honestly, I'm going to have a word internally and see if those prices are right. Because that is crazy. And also the balcony upgrade there as well. Transit through the Panama Canal in your own private balcony.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to miss that, would you really?
Well, I think Miami, going from Miami, doing that port of call, or those ports of call rather, and then finishing in Seattle, it's like 3 holidays. Well, it feels like 3 completely different experiences.
It feels like a lot of stories to bring home at the end of the holiday. I think that's the thing, isn't it? So many people holiday and they go to one place and they do a couple of things in that one place and then they come home and their friends go, how was your holiday? Yeah, good.
Yeah. You would never stop talking about it, I think, and also there'd be no keeping up with the Joneses. The Joneses would be keeping up with you.
I think
this
so.
This is a once. You'd never stop. This would be an incredible opportunity. You guys have done. The packages you've put together, wow,
are ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're going to do a lot more of that, and we do carry on doing a lot of that. Always new exciting developments coming along. Of course, we've got the launch coming up shortly and imminently of Carnival Firenze, which is really interesting because it's Carnival with an Italian twist. Yeah,
so it's an interesting proposition because basically they originally started their life as Costa Cruise Line ships. They've come into the Carnival family. We've carnivalised them, given them Guy's Burger Joint, but Guy's Burger Joint's got an Italian flair, so you can get like a pepperoni pizza burger, and there's the new cocktail bars and things. But we've left the Italian flair in the architecture and the design of the ships, and they look stunning. And the itineraries look really, really strong for these ships as well.
They are,
so
and we've got all of them, of course,
absolutely.
here at Cruise1st. We have got them all on our website as well, or talk to the team. You've got the number on the screen. Right, Luke, thank you very much.
You.
As always, that's gone really quickly, as always, hasn't it?
Amazing.
Come back and see us again soon.
I will do. Thank you very much.
When Celebration Key is up and launched and we know even more. That'll be fantastic. Food for thought there, absolutely. You want to talk to our team, you've got the numbers on the screen. And don't forget now that we're on air every single day here on Sky 681, right the way through until 10 o'clock in the evening, which is music to my ears because there's nothing else on the telly, is there, quite frankly? Let's talk about holidays and sunshine and Carnival Cruise Line getaways. Fantastic. Stay right where you are. There's plenty more on the way.